2014, the third week of September, the energy of the world that longs for peace is gathering to the Republic of Korea. Former and current presidents, special envoys, prime ministers, chief justices, UN representatives, religious leaders of different denominations around the world, IWPG that embraces the world with a mother's heart, leaders of IPYG with many branch offices around the world, and the media that reports the news of peace to the whole world. The footsteps of the family members of the globe transcending nationalities, races, religions, and social status continue to stream across the 6 continents and 5 oceans from the opposite sides of the earth. Guests welcomed by the passionate youth can truly feel that this is a nation of peace. People from all around the world came gathered to the Republic of Korea to take part in the Warp Summit, hosted by Mr. Lee, who has the answer for peace. At the foot of Acha Mountain, where the story of Princess Pyeonggang and General Ondal takes place, the dialogue for peace continues on through the dinner banquet. The 2 representatives are going through their restless schedules for world peace and cessation of wars. The night in the Republic of Korea, which is embracing the world, is now going into the deep. (2014) September 17th, the second day of Warp Summit begins. The clouds hovered over the skies of the main stadium of Jamsil Olympic Stadium like a tent. A meeting place of the world, a point of religious unity, a wave of peace where the spirits of heaven are also taking part. According to the will of heaven, now the magnificent chapter of the Warp Summit has started. Former and current heads of state and special envoys, kings and queens, politicians, chief justices, religious leaders, women and youth group leaders, and domestic and foreign press, all have now arrived at the main stadium of Jamsil Stadium. This day, all have promised to gather for one single purpose, and that is for peace. The gate of peace for Warp Summit that makes known the era of world peace and the cessation of war is now wide open. To start off the World Peace Entrance Ceremony, IPYG, the hope of the world entered the stadium. Youth group leaders around the world dressed in their traditional clothes, representing their nation, entered alongside the director of IPYG, Mr. Steve Kim. Next, we had the women leaders of IWPG enter with children dressed in moonlight yellow. Motherly love and life that warmly embrace the world are valuable strength to achieve peace. Next, religious leaders representing 12 different denominations around the world followed on with their march. They marched together, holding hands with children to demonstrate that religions are standing together, united, to leave eternal peace as a legacy to the children. Former and current heads of state, first ladies, UN representatives, chief justices, and other world leaders marched on together, passing the Peace Gate with children dressed in traditional Korean clothing. The people passing through the Peace Gate symbolize the driving force that will achieve peace in this generation. Finally, the peace advocate who is hosting this grand festival of humanity, the Warp Summit, Mr. Man-hee Lee, the chairman of HWPL, and Ms. Nam-hee Kim, chairwoman of IWPG, are entering together. The rejoicing sound of the people welcoming the 2 representatives filled the heavens and earth. At the main stadium of Jamsil Olympic Stadium in Seoul, the 2 leaders have written a new page in history of peace that will shine forever in the heavens and earth.
Today, the spirits in heaven and people on earth are gathered here to witness this unprecedented event in human history. We call heaven and earth as witnesses for today's summit. And in front of the one and only Creator, we declare the beginning of the World Alliance of Religions Peace Summit for the cessation of wars and for peace. According to the will of heaven, the time of a previous, corrupted generation has ended, and we now welcome a new generation. We are all born into the same world, but young people and students are forced out into battlefields where their lives are sacrificed without ever having the chance to mature and enjoy the prime of their youth. Neither politicians nor the laws of our world have been able to offer compensation to those who lost their lives in this way. For this reason, the UN, former heads of states, and lawmakers around the world should draft an international law for the cessation of wars and world peace. All current heads of state, those who love their country, their people, and peace, should then sign this international law. This is how we can create peace on earth. Each religion claims to be based on the Creator, yet there are hundreds of different religions with different scriptures and practices. These religions then have disputes with each other, bringing disgrace upon God. People live by the light, rain, and air provided by heaven. Having received this grace of life, they then kill one another in wars instead of loving and protecting each other. I was sent as a messenger of heaven to deliver the message of revelation and peace. If we are unable to accomplish this, humanity will not be able to escape destruction. If we succeed, everyone will be blessed. The true God, who is the source of all blessings, will reign over the world, and He will unite with religion, which has become one. What we need to accomplish today is to bring the wars on earth to an end, achieve world peace, and leave it as a legacy to future generations.
The mother figure to all the people of the world, Ms. Nam-hee Kim's speech left a deep impression that awakened the true value and the meaning of heavenly culture.
The long-awaited era of the cessation of war and world peace has finally come. Beginning with Mr. Lee's declaration of world peace, proclaimed at the Peace Gate in the Republic of Korea, the waves of world peace spread throughout the world, and finally today, we have come to bear the fruit of peace here in this place. Everyone, what is this peace you dream of? Could it be considered a world of peace if that peace is limited only to your own country or religion? A world of true peace is a world of life in which everyone is free from mourning, pain, and death. This is the peace that the Creator wants to give us. And herein lies the reason why I say that Mr. Lee is the one with the solution to creating world peace. Within the heavenly culture, Mr. Lee speaks about there is such truth. If you experience and learn about this heavenly culture in depth, you will realize that Mr. Lee, having devoted his life to the achievement of world peace, truly is a mentor for the whole world. To the youth of the world, he is a father figure of peace, and to all creation in need of peace, he is as a president of a heavenly nation. We must not fight with each other. We live under the same sky and on the same earth. It is evil which opposes the will of the Creator and causes wars, and it is evil itself against which we must fight, not with one another. Through this World Alliance of Religions Peace Summit, let us unite all religions and offer our religion to the Creator. When light meets light, there is victory.
The new generation of peace has begun at the scene of the World Alliance of Religions Peace Summit. With this event as a start, the Republic of Korea is now recorded in world history as a nation of peace. The answer for peace that you have been seeking is here. The definite answer and evidence to make peace a reality is in heavenly culture, world peace, restoration of light. An event that no one has imagined before took place like a miracle of peace at the scene of the very first Warp Summit. The 12 spiritual leaders who are influential to many followers around the world represented each religion. Together with the 2 representatives who are the messengers of peace, they made an oath to become one within God. Catholicism, Anglicanism, Buddhism, Hinduism, Judaism, Shia Islam, Sunni Islam, Sikhism, Zoroastrianism, Baha'i, Jainism. Religion that split into hundreds of different religions has now become one under God through the Peace Advocate.
We pledge in sight of God, all people of the world, and the Peace Advocate to become as one under God through the unity of religion. We hereby acknowledge that we must be recreated through God's seed, so that we might be recognized as the family of God, and in that likeness shine an eternal light upon the earth, loving our neighbors as ourselves. We recognize our need for repentance, as well as our need to show grace to all people of the world, grace which can be seen in the light, rain, and air of heaven, and through that grace lead humanity to salvation from death. We hereby pledge with all reasonable endeavor to take on this duty to establish peace and end all wars on this earth, and as a united religion to leave a world at peace as a legacy for our future generations. Considering the grace we have received, we are moved to fully carry our filial duty to our Father God, that is, to do whatever we can to make this world one over which God can reign. This we recognize as a task appointed to this generation. We recognize that when religions become united, wars will end and peace will come to the world. This has been the will of God and the purpose of religion for the past 6,000 years. Therefore, I hereby sign this agreement in sight of God, all people of the world, and the Peace Advocate.
Now, the era of united religion has officially begun. This signing ceremony serves as another solid evidence that the peace movement led by HWPL is according to the scenario of heaven. In front of the stage, former heads of state, special envoys of current heads of state, chief justices from each nation, youth group leaders, women's group leaders, peace groups from each nation, and the presidents of universities signed the agreement together.
Agreement to propose the enactment of an international law. We have been born into this generation, and it is our duty to end all wars of this generation and to establish world peace. United in heart and will, we must leave peace as an eternal legacy for our future generations. We, the former heads of state, chief justices of many nations, and representatives of the United Nations, will do everything within our power to enact an international law for the cessation of wars on this globe and the creation of world peace. We, the current heads of state, will sign the proposed international law to end all wars and establish world peace for all nations, people, and peace. Our purpose is to educate all levels of society, organizations, and educational institutions to mutually collaborate for the enactment of the international law to make peace a reality. I hereby sign this agreement in sight of God, all people of the world, and the peace advocate.
Without hesitation, everyone participated in proposing a clause on the international law to stop wars from breaking out. Through this, the current presidents and the world leaders have assumed the responsibility to execute this law. An oath, recognized by the whole world, was established in sight of the only Creator God, all people of the world, and the peace advocate. The family members of the global community that will join the path towards the most certain peace have become the cornerstones to establish peace. Through this, God's will and promise is fulfilled and kept, and God's victory is made known to the whole world. Through the peace agreement, the high walls that divided nations and religions are destroyed, and everyone has become a family of peace.
Let the walk for the Peace Festival begin!
Unparalleled in the history of the Republic of Korea and in the history of the world, the greatest march for peace began. A marching band led the march at the front, guiding the path of peace. The people of the world held each other's hand and marched to the dynamic rhythm of the band. The two hosts, the former heads of state of each nation, prime ministers, kings and queens, and chief justices, leaders representing each religion, youth of the world, and women group leaders are marching on together towards the path of peace. 30,000 global family members united as one, transcending nationalities, races, religions, and class. Who made possible this unprecedented peace walk on earth? This reveals to the whole earth that God was with us for the 4-day event of the Warp Summit,